Right, so I'm going to break down my first online offer and show you exactly how I'm actually making money from this. So let's get straight into it. You see, my first business was a traditional e-com business. That is where you're selling a product online. E-com stands for e-commerce. That means electronic commerce, commerce buy and sell on the internet. That's what e-com means. Now, the thing is with an e-com business, as much as I think it's an amazing business model, right? There's so many skills you've got to learn. Like you've got to learn how to send emails, you've got to learn how to run ads, you've got to learn how to build a website, learn how to get the product. You've also got to have all these skills, right? But then you've got to have the finances to do it. Now, I know a lot of people get stuck at the very first. What is the very first stage, right? Now, I'm just going to tell you, when I started this business, right, I made $2.5 million with it. My first biggest business. Okay, I've had loads of little businesses, right, but this my main business. I made that amount from it, right, and that was all from scratch. I didn't actually have any issues starting from zero, and I'm not telling you that to try and patronize you. But the reason why I'm saying that is because I just got to work, right. Probably quite naively, to be honest. That was probably something that was working on my side. I was naively working, thinking I could do it like this. And because I genuinely believed it, I did end up making a lot of money with it, right? Now, just to sort of simplify it, this is the main process of selling anything on the internet, okay? So you either need a product or a service. So product, service, okay? This is the thing that you're actually selling, okay? Then you need to make ads or content, right? This is where you're telling people about what you're selling, right? So let's say you're selling a service, you might be making YouTube videos like I'm making right now to tell people about the service for free. Or if you're selling a physical product, you might start running paid advertising to tell people about the product that you're selling, right? So that's the second stage. Now, the third stage is the actual delivery. That's the delivery of the product or the service. So, are you shipping this physical product to the customer, or are you actually providing the service, right? So, let's say delivery slash skill. Now, this is what people don't like, right? People don't like this. Okay, what they want to learn is they want to learn how to how to do the marketing, right? They want to learn where to get their products from, how to make the product look good, right? But actually delivering on what they say they're going to deliver on and the service they don't want to do, right? Now, this is one of the most important pieces of the puzzle right here, because you need customers to actually buy something and enjoy it, right? I would have never been able to scale my business, okay, to the amount I did, like millions in sales, right, if I didn't have customers coming back and shopping again. Because unless you have customers coming back and shopping again, that's what we call lifetime value, right? That's the amount of money that customers spend over the lifetime. If you can't increase the lifetime value, it's incredibly difficult to actually grow at a large scale. Now, the reason for that is because what a lot of businesses do, especially in e-commerce, right, they will pay a high CAC, customer acquisition cost. That is how much that you're paying to get a customer, right? And because they know that once a customer's in their ecosystem, they can follow up with something like email marketing, for example, and sell to that customer again for no cost. Overall, that makes both purchasers cheaper, right? And they know that every time, if they're getting loads of customers in January, right, there's a certain percentage of that audience that are going to convert in October. Okay, so it's the cycle, right? It's the cycle of the business, and over a few years, this cycle should keep repeating, and it's like a compounding snowball effect. Now, if you're always having to go to a new market every time, then you're gonna have to make a lot more content and get a lot more views, right? And you're gonna have to run a lot more ads, which is expensive. So you've sort of just got to play chess with all of these. Now, the next part is you've got the skills, okay? Now, this is just the worst diagram I've ever drawn in my life, but look, you've got skills. Now, when it comes to learning skills for a business, it's like learning skills for anything else, right? If you want to get big in the gym, okay, then, well, you need to learn how to train properly, right? You need to learn how to hydrate properly. You need to learn how to lift heavy. You need to learn how to diet properly. You need to learn how to count your macros. And you need to have the discipline to execute it all, right? Now, the thing is with running a business, what people think, okay, people think that it's a skill like nothing else, right? But it's just a skill like everything else. If you learn the fundamentals of it and put it together, you can make money, right? So maybe the big skill overall is e-com. Okay. So this is the overarching skill, e-commerce, right? Well, you need to break down what goes into e-commerce. Okay. So if I wanted this skill of e-commerce, then I'd sit down and I'd say, right, I need to learn how to make a website or get someone else to do it for me, right? I need to learn how to run ads. Okay. I need to learn how to write copy. Okay. That's writing words that help you sell products, right? I need to learn how to source products. Okay. Am I drop shipping? Am I getting the products in house? And then once you sort of learn these overarching things, right, you can start making money. Like you don't have to be able to write a 5-step abandoned checkout email marketing sequence and learn how to optimize it over 90 days in day one, right? If you learn the basics of each of these, but you can put them together, then you can start making money with it, right? Now, when you learn the basics of these and you start making a little bit of money, something that happens when you start making a little bit of money for yourself, right? For your own, and you figured it out, right? When you start making a little bit of money, it gives you something called confidence, yeah? So what you're going to go through is you're going to go through a linear sort of feeling, right? It's going to be real hard, and then all of a sudden it's just going to click at once, right? Now, this isn't because it just gets a lucky break. You don't just find this thing you get lucky on, right? What it is it's like somebody, and I got this off Alex Hormozy, right? It's like somebody wanting to cross a bridge, right? This is the guy on the other side of the bridge. Now, the bridge comes with loads of little steps like this, and sometimes you fall through the bridge. So you're going along, sometimes you fall through the bridge, but you don't have to start back on the other side, okay? You can just repair this, yeah? And this is what you get to hear. You're going to come into problems, but you just need to repair the stage that you're at. But once you have to reset, you're not going back to zero. This is what you've got to understand. So the longer that you get, the closer that you get to this. And then once you hit all of these and you fail a couple of times and you get back up, this is what happens. Okay. So that's all you need to do. You need to just get good enough to strive for the first little bit of sales. Now, for me, all this confidence for me came when I did a trade show in Liverpool and I made £2,700 in a day in sales. Right, I didn't even know if I'm making profit or not, but because I saw the cash, yeah, myself that I'd made myself, that gave me the confidence to go like, wow, there's actually money in this, and that's the only stage that you need to focus on getting to at the first stage, right? Now, similar to this, the same process that I'm following again. So this time, instead of running the paid advertising, okay, I'm making free content, right? Like this YouTube video that you're watching right now. So I've got this channel, which is my main channel, and then I've got my email marketing channel. So now I'm making content. Now, the reason why I'm focusing on content is because, well, I put a lot of years into this business, right? And I ended up moving on from it. Okay, so if you put the same amount of years into content, yeah, then I'd have been 7 years on YouTube right now, probably 1 million subs, and I would be living a bit of a different life. Okay, so now my main thing is content. Now the good thing about this is it's free, right? Now, personally, I think that a business like this is the best, right? But you need a big budget to start this. I know people like to say you can start with nothing. You need some money to start this, right? So my thing right now, instead of selling a product, I'm selling a service. Same principles. Instead of selling a product, I'm selling a service. Instead of running ads, like I've spent hundreds of thousands of pounds on Google ads, I'm making content, right? And look, for the skills, I'm just learning different type of skills. So I'm learning how to speak more clearly. I'm learning how to structure a video, right? I'm learning how to edit. For all this, it's the same thing. Right, I need a website, which I've got, www.smartacquisitionacademy.com. I've got a product/service, which is email marketing, right? And for the ads, I am making content, okay, like you're watching right now. And yeah, that's it. That's it. You need a product. You need to tell people about the product. You need to be able to deliver the products. Now, what people like to do is they like to try and bend and turn and change this. Right? Now, don't start trying to make a service in a personal brand if you've never done fuck all. I'm not saying you can't do it, right? But don't try and make things look like something they're not. Okay? Don't try and bend it around and turn it and right? You need to have an actual skill. For me, I've made hundreds of thousands of pounds of email marketing. So naturally for me, I'm like, right, I know that I can make this skill, right? Reached out to people in my network, started making them extra money with email marketing. Boom. They can pay me a certain amount and then I can charge them a certain amount and they make profit on that. That's how I like to do things. So I like to charge people a small amount of money, right? They pay me that and then they make way more than that money and profit, right? So that's a no-brainer for both parties. That's how I like to do it. Now, I gathered this skill over time, but anybody can get these online skills. It's all on the internet. Buy a course, or just fucking go online and learn them. Like I did. I learned them off YouTube, and I made that 2.5 M's from a working class background. No skills, no knowledge, no finances, no connections, no nothing. I just spent a lot of time on YouTube. I read them books and I put it all together and I actually had the balls to do it. Right. That's another thing. Yeah, you need the balls to. That's fucking disgusting. Sorry, guys. You actually need the balls to do it. Yeah. So look, I hope that made things a little bit more simple for you. Follow that. If you follow all that, you'll make money on the internet.